Hello, you wisdom seekers. Welcome to the Reflective Podcast. Be warned, as this show is strong, impactful, and likely to keep you up at night pondering the mysteries of the universe. I'm your barista of thought, your host, Elvis. And today we're diving into an episode that's going to be a roller coaster for your cerebral cortex. Yes, you heard right. We are talking growth, desire versus wisdom, or as I like to call it, the should I eat that last piece of cake of life's big questions. Ready to jump in? Trust me, yes, it's going to be more fun than a barrel of Sartre reading monkeys. But before I go on, questions to ponder. How do you define growth in your life? Oh, have you ever been at a crossroads between your aspirations and that little voice of caution? With these head scratches in mind, let's get down to it, shall we? Let's talk about growth. That irresistible lure of growth. It's like the buffet table of life. Check this out. You woke up with a plate, eyes bigger than your stomach, and everything looks delicious. Personal growth, pile it on. Career advancement, don't mind if I do. Learning a new language, instrument, or how to juggle flaming torches? Yes, and oh boy, let's hope you've got good insurance. But seriously, we are hardwired to want more, to be more. It's as if we're born with this uncontrollable curiosity, unsatisfied curiosity. Remember when you were a kid and you wanted to be an astronaut, a firefighter, a superhero, and a dinosaur all at the same time? Well, that kid is still in you, just with a little more responsibilities and maybe a touch less flexibility. So, what are the dishes you're piling on your plate of life right now? Or can you recall a moment when your ambitions felt like you were in overdrive? Now, I'm not saying ambition is bad. It's what's driven some of the greatest achievement in history. But here's the pickle. Where does more become too much? And when does the quest for growth turn into a never-ending game of existential Pac-Man, gobbling up everything in sight only to find out the ghost of regret are right on your tail? Thought-provoking, right? Growth is a double-edged sword, our angel and our devil, both whispering sweet nothings into our ears. So how do we navigate this? That, my friends, brings us to our next act. Feeling the weight of those questions? Good. Let them marinate a bit as we saunter over to the next point. Wisdom, the party pooper, or the life coach. So you've got this grand vision of who you want to be, what you want to accomplish, and maybe even what you want to have. It's like you're at the helm of your own starship enterprise, daring to boldly go wherever you have never gone before. But hang on. Spock's on the comm saying, Captain, it's not logical to proceed without a plan. Yep, that's wisdom chiming in. The Spock to your Kirk, the Dumbledore to your Harry, the Yoda to your Luke. Wisdom is that voice in your head that says, whoa there, cowboy. Before we ride off into the sunset, do we even know how to ride a horse? So, who or what serves as the wisdom in your life? Can you recall a situation where you plunged ahead without listening to that voice? Dear listeners, wisdom has a bad rap, you know. It's often seen as that fun sponge, the wet blanket, the Debbie Downer. But let's give credit where credit's due. Wisdom is often the only adult in the room where you're about to make a questionable decision. It's like that GPS that reroutes you when you're about to drive off a cliff while belting out, I will survive, right? A bit of mythology for you. Remember Icarus? Oh, our wax-winged wonder. The guy who didn't listen to his dad and flew close to the sun? He's like the poster child for ignoring wisdom, and look where that got him. A one-way ticket to the deep end of the ocean. Now, here's the kicker. Wisdom isn't just about avoiding foolish risk. It's also about recognizing when to take calculated risk. It's the voice that says, you might fail, but oh boy, imagine if you succeed. So, is wisdom our cosmic party pooper or the life coach we never knew we needed? Not so sure. Let's get to the next stage. The not so pretty side effects of growth on steroids. All right, now that we've sung the praises of growth and given a standing ovation to wisdom, let's talk about what happens when growth goes rogue. You know, when it turns into that friend who overstays their welcome, raids your fridge, and takes control of that Netflix queue. Not cool. Growth, not cool. We're talking about unchecked ambitions here. Growth that's been given free rein like a toddler with a permanent marker. It's all fun and games until someone draws on the walls or, causes irreversible damage to the planet. Can you think of a time when your personal or professional growth had unintended consequences? What are some real-world examples where the pursuit of growth has backfired? Take, for instance, the Industrial Revolution, a marvel of human innovation, right? Factories, mass production, economic booms. But it also ushered in an era of pollution, worker exploitation, and let's not forget, some truly questionable fashion choices. Top heads? Anyone? Nope, I don't think so. And don't even get me started on the digital age. Sure, we're more connected than ever, but at what cost? Our attention spans are now shorter than that of a goldfish. And yes, that's scientifically proven. I'm not just fishing for laughs here. Let's zoom out a bit. What about societies and civilizations? Empires rose because of their desire for growth. They conquered lands, accumulated wealth, and made groundbreaking advancement in technology and culture. But many also fell because they overextended, lost sight of their values, or became victims of their own successes. Think of Napoleon, Alexander the Great. It's like they got drunk on growth and woke up with a wisdom hangover. So the $1 million question, or should I say the Bitcoin question, since we're talking about unchecked growth, is this. How do we know when to say when? That, my friend, is our journey into our next act. The enlightened path, marrying desire and wisdom. So, here we are, standing at the crossroads of Desire Street and Wisdom Avenue. On one side, you've got the bright lights, the glitz, the glamour, the promise of untold riches and fame, basically, the Las Vegas of life choices. On the other hand, you've got the serene, peaceful path that's all Zen gardens and yoga retreats. So which way do we go? The answer, my sage-like listeners, is neither. Or rather, a bit of both. It's like making the perfect smoothie. You need a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of zest, and a whole lot of balance because let's be honest, nobody likes a kale-only smoothie. Nobody. Ew. What does a balanced approach to growth look like in your life? Is my question to you. Have you ever experienced a situation where desire and wisdom worked in harmony? Imagine the folks who have got this down to an art. They're like the Jedi masters of life, wielding their lightsabers of wisdom while using the force of desire. They know that growth is not about just moving forward. It's just about moving forward with intention, purpose, and a dash of humility. These people don't just climb the ladder of success. They make sure it's leaning against the right wall. And sometimes they even build their own walls. Walls made from bricks of compassion, windows of clarity, and a big welcoming door of inclusivity. Think of it this way. If life were a video game, these people have found the cheat code that lets them navigate through levels within that finesse of a ballet dancer and the strength of a sumo wrestler. And the best part? They share that cheat code with others because what's growth? if it's not shared, right? So, if you find yourself torn between the adrenaline rush of unchecked growth and the monk-like serenity of ancient wisdom, remember, you can have your cake and eat it too. Just make sure it's a cake made with equal parts of ambition and mindfulness. Now, let that simmer in your mental crockpot as we prepare to wrap this up in a nice wisdom-infused bowl. Your personal odyssey of growth and wisdom. Well, folks, we've been on quite the philosophical roller coaster today, haven't we? We've explored the towering skyscrapers of desire, dipped our toes in the reflective pools of wisdom, and even wandered through the sometimes haunted forest of unchecked growth. It's like we've been on a mental world tour and we didn't even need to update our passports, right? So, what's the one key takeaway you'll carry with you from this episode? How will you apply the principles of balanced growth in your life moving forward? As you go about your day, week, or even your life, remember that growth and wisdom are not opponents in a gladiatorial arena. They're dance partners in the ballroom of life. And like any good dance, it's all about balance, rhythm, and not stepping on each other's toes. So next time you find yourself at a crossroads, caught in the tug of war between the tantalizing sirens of desire and the sage whispers of wisdom, consider this. Maybe the key to unlocking your fullest potential is to let them both into the room. Let them hash it out, negotiate, and eventually collaborate to create a symphony that's uniquely yours. If you manage to do that, my friends, you won't just be growing. You'll be evolving, transcending, and yes, even enlightening. And that's a level of growth that not only benefits you, but sends ripples of positive impact throughout the world. So, until our next intellectual rendezvous, keep those minds agile, those hearts open, and those funny bones tickled. This is Elvis, your faithful narrator in this journey through the labyrinth of life, signing off. But remember, the journey doesn't end here. It's just the beginning of another chapter in your ever-unfolding book of existence. Be well, be curious, and above all, be you. Peace out and keep reflecting. Thank you so much. Have a good one.